Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel for a little bit of a different video today. As you can probably tell by the setup and the title of this video, it's going to be a little bit different to my usual videos that I upload. There's two reasons that this video is a little bit different. One is that today is Sunday and I need a video for tomorrow. The second reason that I'm doing it is because this particular video was actually requested. How could I say no to actually getting a request for a video from something that I shared in my vlog? I'm definitely gonna do that. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Laura. I am an illustrator and a content creator, and you can find me on pretty much every social media platform, including Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, by the name of Laura Jane Illustrations. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you would like to see more content from me, you can go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on that little notification bell to get reminders when new videos go up. Now let's dive into today's video. As you have probably already figured out, it is going to be a little bit of a Notion tour. I'm going to be showing you how I use Notion to brainstorm and actually strategically plan content for multiple social media platforms. I have been sharing in my last couple of vlogs how much I have been loving Notion. I love how flexible Notion is and how you can just create your own templates from scratch, which is exactly what I did for this content planner template. I built it to fit my multi-platform needs and my kind of way of thinking about content creation and planning. I'm going to go and show you inside Notion using a screen recording and voiceover style, because I just felt that would be easier for you to see exactly how I build and create this template, so that if you wish to do something similar, or if you want to use this exact template that I'm going to use in the video, I'm going to create a way for you to download it. So keep watching to find out how to access it. Let's dive in and have a look at how I brainstorm, plan, and schedule content using a Notion planner. So the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to open up the Notion desktop app, which you can see down here. Now, obviously you can use Notion on web as well. So if I go to open Safari and I type in notion.so, that is the main Notion website. So if you're not a Notion user, that's where you've got to go first to create an account, which is completely free. And then from there, you can also download the desktop app if you, like me, prefer to have that. They also have an iOS app, so you can also download this onto your iPad, and they are currently beta testing an iPhone app. So as you can see here on the left hand side of my Notion planner, my Notion templates, I have lots of different Notion templates. This is my actual content planner, but to make it a little bit easier for this video, I went ahead and I duplicated this and I removed all of the data so that you can see how it works, that if you choose to duplicate this template and add it to your Notion planner, that you're going to know how to start from scratch. And also, I feel like my planner at the moment is so full of information, I just thought that would be a bit chaotic for you guys to look at. This is a much easier way to do it. So this is the content planner that I set up. There are different ways that you can view the content that you have planned. So the first page of this planner I call the brain dump, and I'm going to show you how I use that in a minute, but basically it is what it says in the name. It's a space for you to brain dump lots of different ideas. Then I have a monthly planner page, so that will open up to the most recent date, so we can see that it's currently empty because we haven't generated any content to put in there. This page I call my content overview. This is going to be a list page, which means as soon as we start to generate content in these two pages, it's just going to create a really long list and show us all of the different info about each piece of content. It's just another way of organizing your content and being able to kind of see everything in one space. Then the third page that I have as part of my content planner, I call the published page. This has a filter rule in it, which means it will only show pieces of content that I have marked as published. But what happens is when something gets marked published in the status, it's going to filter over onto this page. And the reason that I have it set up like that is because it allows me to do some repurposing. So if I'm planning out my monthly content and I've run out of ideas or I need something quick, I can go over to my published list and have a quick look at some content that I've already published and repurpose that. So move it back onto my calendar, which means all I have to do is find it in my own archives so that you can continuously have a bank of ideas of content you've already created. It's already out there, it's already in your files, and you can repurpose it when you need to fill some gaps in your content without burning yourself out. So let's have a look at how we can start to generate some content into this planner to make it work for us. First place to start is the brain dump page. This is kind of a process to do to get as many ideas out as you can for each of your different areas that you create on. So it's not an exercise that you have to do every week, but rather an exercise to do maybe once every fortnight or once a month to generate as much ideas as you possibly can, which you can then schedule into your planner to give you content ideas for a longer period of time. This page is sorted in a few different ways. First of all, it's sorted by platform. So we can see Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Pinterest, and I also have my email list scheduled in here. If you don't use any of these, you can just click to hide it from the view so it's not taking up space for you. So for example, for the purpose of today's video, I'm just going to hide the email one for now, just so that we can see the other ones a little bit clearer. Over here, it shows us all our hidden groups. So there are a few extra tags that I have for content, which we will use when we get to the calendar section, but that we don't really need right now because it's just going to take up too much space on the screen and it's going to make things a little bit confusing for us to think of. On top of sorting the content by platform, I then sorted by stage of creation. So first of all is the brain dump, where I literally just fill these spaces with lots of different ideas for each content area. Then when I start to create content, I can move it to in progress. I can then say when it's drafted or sent to be reviewed by a brand, if it's been approved for posting, and whether it's scheduled and ready to post. Again, if any of these sections or statuses don't really line up with the way that you work, you can either edit them or switch them out or hide them. To generate an idea or brain dump something, all you have to do is click on the area underneath the brain dump in the area of content that you want to create, and you want to click on new. So if you want to generate some ideas for TikTok, you can click on new, and then you can type in an idea for a TikTok video. So for example, day in my life, and then we just press enter on our keypad and it's going to stay there in the brain dump section. Then we can do the same for other places. So for example, we might come up with an idea for Instagram, review of product. I'm keeping these like super vague. Obviously, you're going to have more specific ideas for the places that you create on. If, for example, like the day in my life, you think that it might be relevant for more than one space, you can click on the idea and it's going to open up the main page. You can select more than one area that you think this piece of content might be relevant for. So a day in my life mini vlog for you might actually be relevant to your Instagram and Pinterest, so you can select them as well. And then when we click out of this little window, it's going to show us that idea in the brain dump for the other areas of our content as well. I've put in a few different ideas into each of the different columns. As I said, if you're planning it for a longer period of time, I definitely recommend that you take some time to fill out these different columns with as many ideas as you can, and then think about maybe where they can cross-reference or be shared on different platforms, the same piece of content. Once you've done that, you're going to move over to your monthly planner. Up here on the top of our corner, on the top corner of our calendar rather, there's a little bubble here beside filter and sort that says no date. When we click on that, it's going to bring up that list of content that we have generated from our brain dump. We can click on that and then add it to the calendar and then drag it to Monday. So my Notion tour is going to go up on Monday. Let's click on travel vlog. It's going to automatically go to the day that it is, and then you can drag and drop it to where you want. So this is also, it's showing showing us that it's YouTube. So we can think if our YouTube posting day is on Mondays, we can maybe drag this travel vlog over to the 18th because maybe it will take us a little bit longer to edit. So I'm just going to click to add all of these to the calendar on the same day, and then I'm going to drag and drop them. So you can see that very quickly we have generated some ideas of content, and then we've started to drag and drop them into our planner. And because we've already sorted these by platform, it means that we can very quickly see, so that we're not having like multiple pieces of content from the same platform going up on the same day if that's not the way that we post. Now, we know that, for example, on Instagram, there's lots of different ways that we can show up. So I'm going to show you one other way that I like to filter this on my planner. So this is marked as hands at work packing orders. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the Instagram tag off of it, and I'm actually going to mark it as a reel instead. So I can see at a glance, there's a lot of video content on this planner. The review of the product for the brand deal. So I actually have a tag in here so that we can mark this as a paid partner piece of content. I just feel like if you're working with brands, that's really important that you kind of flag the content that is for brands separate to the content that you just create for yourself and your audience. If it's on Instagram, we might be sharing it on Instagram stories, but we might also want to make a reel as well so that we have all of that flagged. And when we look at our calendar, it's going to show us that paid partnership label first. At the start of every week, I check in with the week ahead and I mark in the next steps. So let's do that for hypothetical sense for this week of kind of fictional content. The tips for using Notion is going on Pinterest. So the next step for that would be illustrating it for me or creating the graphic, depending on how you work. Then our outfit of the day, we're going to need to film this. Or we might need to plan this. Let's pretend we need to plan what the outfit of the day is in order for us to film it. And for our paid partnership content, let's also mark that as that our next step is to submit for review. Let's mark that one because that's, I think, an important one if you do work with brands. Let's pretend we've already filmed this. So it is in the drafted / in review phase. So we need to submit that for review, and we have to wait for our brand partner to come back with us and approve it so that we can actually post it online. So now that we've kind of like mapped it out, I'm just going to show you what the other pages would look like. So our content overview, as I said, it just generates a list of everything that we have marked as an idea. There's also a few extra columns in here for the list. So for example, you might have a deadline that you need to submit it to a brand for review. You might have a link of maybe like another piece of content that you are redoing. So like a trend piece of content that you want to recreate, or another piece of content that inspired you, or it might be like a link to a brand's page that you need to like visit before you create that content. You might also want to attach some media. Maybe there are brand guidelines that you need to attach. So there's just like a few extra tabs where you can add in more information about your content if you need to. The publish page will filter all of the content that we've already published in this list format. So it will show us, obviously it was published, it will show us the date where it was published on our calendar, and then it will show us what type of content this was. We can then click on this piece of content and we can maybe duplicate it, and we can then change the date that would go up on. Its status is repurposed. So now we've repurposed it, it's disappeared off here. And then when we go back to our calendar, if we scroll down to the 11th of August, there's that repurposed piece of content. And that's pretty much it. I hope that you found this video helpful and that it's inspired you to start planning some exciting content for the coming month. If you like this Notion template and you want to use it yourself, I've put all of the details on how you can download it in the description box down below. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content from me, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments if there are any other Notion tours that you would like to see, because honestly, any excuse for me to talk about Notion, I will take you up on that. I will see you again really soon. I promise that I'm gonna vlog a little bit more of my week this week and catch you up on everything that's been going on with my website rebrand, because we are coming so close to the launch. Until then, I'll see you soon.